Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. It is beautiful up here in the Northeast, and it is beautiful for a holiday weekend. I know there are some of you that will be celebrating Easter this weekend, so I try to take some tips from a bunch of different areas for this weekend. So, April is National Stress Awareness Month, but it is also Easter time. It's springtime. There's some other things too, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about probably in another topic. But I wanted to focus on hormones in particular because hormones and stress actually are very much linked and can very much affect your energy and athletic performance and overall well being. When it comes to holidays, it can also affect your overall well being and your overall mood, especially when it comes to the eating table. It could be stress with eating, or it could be stress with just having a lot of things going on around you. So, today, what I thought would be really beneficial, it would be talking about some tips to help to manage your stress and to help with blood sugar regulation. Also, with that hormonal balance, incorporating nutrition and tips for navigating the Easter table so that you can still enjoy, be at ease, and really enjoy the festivities this weekend while enjoying every little morsel because that's what I do. And why do I do that? Well, I'm going to introduce myself. I am Drew Mulvey. I am the vitality specialist. So I work with athletes, I work with entrepreneurs, but really I work with anybody that is looking to take control of their health and athletic performance so they have better energy, they're recovering better, and they're really getting the most out of life that life has is right there to give us. This comes from my own past of dealing with an autoimmune condition and several health issues to then running in a half Ironman last year. I try to integrate components of functional nutrition, integrative health, life coaching, and exercise to really create that harmony in your mind, body, and spirit, and to help you to create sustainable changes in your life so that they're real, that you have tangible evidence of health, overall health. If I did it and this is the program that I have, I know that you can do it too. And I've seen it in several of my clients. So if that really sounds like you, if you kind of want to know a little bit deeper of an understanding of how to take control of your health, what's going on in your body, how to manage it, to break any confusion of all of this different, all the fluff that is out there regarding wellness and nutrition, let's meet. I would absolutely love to speak with you. I have a 1 hour strategy session that I can give you where we'll go over some very specific tips on what your goals are. I will give you very specific tips based on that, whether it be energy, restoration, hormone balance. But the hormones that comes with mood, it comes with athletic performance, it comes with energy, it comes with appetite, it comes with overall quality of life. And that is what I want to bring to the table. So if that sounds like you, I would absolutely love you to hop on a call, or I'd love to hop on a call with you, and let's get the ball rolling in the right direction so that you can have an amazing spring and amazing summer. And these things don't have to hold you back anymore. So, with that in mind, as I was saying, hormones and blood sugar regulation actually tie into stress and your mood. Also, lifestyle, there are probably a lot of things going on this weekend. What's going on this weekend in particular is that we are going to be having a little feast. So it's kind of like Thanksgiving in a way. Now, does that mean that you have to be completely strict with things, or that maybe you might want are thinking about going overboard? But can there be a happy balance between everything so that it supports your body, it supports your mind, it supports your spirit, so that you don't start off the week feeling really, really sluggish? That's why on Instagram, for those of you on Instagram, it is titled Sugar Rush, post sugar rush, or to avoid the sugar rush and to help to boost your energy and to balance hormones this Easter. So I'm going to give you some very specific tips on how you can navigate this Easter, particularly with balancing hormones, blood sugar regulation, and still being able to enjoy yourself. So, if you do not have any food sensitivities that you know of, then guess what? You can enjoy that food. What are some of your favorite foods for Easter? I'm trying to think of it. Um, Okay, so there's a lot of candy obviously involved. There's going to be cake. There's going to be a lot of goodies. Does that mean that you have to hold that from yourself at all? No, absolutely not. You can actually enjoy these things, but in order to regulate your blood sugar and kind of keep your mood easy to avoid that sugar rush, here are some tips for you to follow. So you're going to have the Easter meal, right? Making sure in the Easter meal that there is some protein, there's some fat, there's some carbohydrates, so some starchier carbohydrates in there, and then also having some vegetables. What that's going to do is it's going to give you the antioxidant protection that you need. It's also going to help to bring down the glycemic index on those starchier foods. Now, when you have that, you have the protein and the fat, and then after, when you have some of those delicious goodies, then it's not so much of a sugar punch on your body. Because what happens when your blood sugar gets dysregulated? You get tired, you get lethargic, you get moody. And then how does that impact your adrenals and your hormones? Well, that can kind of like, bleh. Well, anything, yeah, well, it will make you feel bleh, because if your hormones are off, that's when you starting to see blood fluctuations. Sorry, fluctuations in your mood and fluctuations in your blood sugar too. It all kind of interconnects. So have the protein and the fat to help to decrease the glycemic index of those foods and having that complex meal. I'm trying to think of, it's usually ham. Me personally, we decided to have some side dishes where there are the antioxidants in there, where there's some vegetables. We're going to be having some starch, and then I'm going to be making a gluten-free carrot cake. Now, that is for those of you that I'm going to talk about that in a second. I'm focusing right now on the composition of the meals to help to regulate your blood sugar. Now, another thing that you can do if you like Cadbury cream eggs or some chocolates or things like that, yes, there are better options. I really love I believe it's So Real is the brand that has like M&Ms, and they have peanut butter cups and things like that too. So if you are enjoying those things, I wouldn't say to have those as a snack. To prevent any sort of sugar rush and crash, make sure that you have some sort of a protein with it, or I would just highly recommend having some sort of a protein with it just to bring that glycemic index down so that you're maintaining your energy through the day. It's it's fun to have energy. It's totally okay, and that's going to set you up for the rest of the week, and it's also going to help your body to stay in check too. So that's number one, is think about the composition of your meals. If you are having something that is a little bit more sugary, just making sure that you have some protein, some fat with it to bring down the glycemic index. That's going to help your body to de-stress. That's going to make you feel de-stressed, and you're also able to enjoy. You're being able to enjoy all the different flavors and all the different tastes of those foods, and you're not restricting or being rigid. That's so important that you do have that balance. Now, let's go on the other spectrum, that you can actually incorporate things and alternatives of things that have a little bit more fiber and a little bit more nutrient density, but you can also incorporate things if you do have food sensitivities. Say, for instance, you're gluten-free and dairy-free. Does that mean that you have to bypass the dessert or bypass some of the things that you really enjoy? Absolutely not. There are some really great flours that you can use, and this actually can incorporate a little bit of fiber in there. I'll give you one in particular. You could, or, well, this is going to be two. Um, you can mix a little oat flour with like a little bit of cassava flour, even that gluten-free flour. There is a gluten-free flour from Bob's Red Mill that has a little bit more fiber in it, so that's also going to help to regulate that blood sugar when you are enjoying that treat. But oats also have that fiber in there too, so you're adding a little bit of nutrition, a nutritional value in there in particular. Having oats and having this gluten-free flour, that's going to be a way that if you are steering away from gluten. Another way that you can incorporate things that you really like. So potatoes gratin, that's one of the things that's usually on the Easter table, like potatoes. Using coconut milk and coconut oil. There's also coconut butter and palm oil that you could use in place of that, so that you still are enjoying that meal. And then, ooh, getting all the herbs and spices in that it turns out really, really good. And now for your baked goods too. So I was talking about gluten-free. If you are grain-free as well, there's a mix of cassava flour and oat flour, which I have done before, throwing some eggs in there. Now, that one's not going to rise as well if you don't use the eggs. I mean, you can use a flax egg in there, and another way is like baking soda and some apple cider vinegar. But um, if you're not using eggs, then usually that like the gluten-free flour and the mix of the gluten-free flour and the oats is going to be really beneficial. Like if you just want to enjoy something, then having those oats in there in particular. Another thing, what I was talking about before, having those veggies in there. If you're going to have leftovers for a long period of time, it's going to be important to make things that you're not, I don't want us to use the C word, but you're going overboard for the rest of the week, which it's totally fine. It's Easter. You can enjoy yourself, but having things that aren't going to go to waste, that's actually going to provide nutrient density, and provide emotional support too and emotional enjoyment. So potatoes are a really great option. They're chock full of potassium, B6. If you're putting the coconut oil and the coconut milk in them and then putting some herbs and spices in them, that's actually bringing down the glycemic index. Plus, you're having them with protein. So that's also going to bring down the glycemic index. Some of the things that I what found, if you look into Pinterest and you look for like healthy side dishes or any sort of side dishes, there's stuffed mushrooms. I'm going to be having this carrot slaw that has walnuts and it has raisins and it has I think there's a little tiny bit of maple syrup and cinnamon in there. So carrots, speaking of hormonal health, carrots are very rich in vitamin A and is very, very supportive for your hormones. You have the raisins in there too, which is a good source of resveratrol, which actually helps to decrease inflammation. And the overall, it tastes really good. There's roasted tricolor carrots, so you're getting different antioxidants and different nutrients just from those different colors. Oh, I think the one that we were going to make, oh shoot, it was on it. Well, there was a bunch of different herbs on there. I think they were like buttery carrots. So if you can't have butter, then having some coconut oil and adding some herbs and spices on those are really good. We're doing Brussels sprouts with bacon because that just makes me happy, and having that side salad. There's a bunch of different potato dishes. There's deviled eggs that you can make instead of using the mayonnaise. You can swap it out for avocado, and that's really good. So you're getting magnesium. That's going to help to boost your mood. The egg yolk also is a very good source of acetylcholine, which is going to help your mood and helping with your brain function overall. Plus, the egg yolk there's something else that it's very high in too. No, it's the choline. I think I was going back to the choline. Yes. All right. So eggs are also a good source of sulfur compounds, which helps to clear things out of your body when it comes to hormones. So really, it's helping to balance everything. So think about this. We have a snack, we have some deviled eggs, and then we have our main meal, which would be our protein. And then we got some veggies in there. And then we've got some side dishes, so like some potato dishes or some starches. Like I know that I'm going to have some dinner rolls just because that's what I wanted to pick. But finding some of those things that you can incorporate where you're going to have that nice balance, but something that's going to also be really tantalizing to the taste buds as well. Um, Right. So we were talking about these are gluten free and dairy free. So those are some great options. This is some great options to add in some nutrient density into your nutrition plan when it's Easter. Now, another tip for regulating blood sugar during the Easter meal is going for a walk after. So what that does is it actually helps your muscles to contract, and that helps with better insulin sensitivity. What that does, it's going to regulate your blood sugar level so it's not going to be stressful to your system and you're not going to have that crash afterwards. So, yeah, if you go a little bit overboard, it's totally okay. It's one day, but making sure that you get that movement in so that you have the insulin sensitivity that is going to be beneficial for your particular, uh, blood sugar regulation. Sorry, I just had an ADD moment. It's going to be beneficial for your blood sugar regulation and also for that hormonal health because when blood sugar gets dysregulated, it could dysregulate the hormones. And you want to enjoy the day, be in a good mood. So, what are the specific tips? So, first, we talked about complex meals that you can incorporate. Second, we talked about some alternatives if you're gluten free or dairy free, adding in some even nutrient dense versions. I've made brownies. I talk about these brownies all the time. So, yam brownies with oats and dates. You can sweeten things with dates. You can make you can make chocolate chip cookies. There we go, with avocado as the base. Um, I recommend chocolate chip because if you're giving green cookies out to people, I'm not sure how that they're gonna react. But well, I mean, unless you have an Incredible Hulk theme, but I really highly doubt that over Easter you're going to have a themed party. If you do, then kudos to you. Share about it. I think that's really cool. That might actually be in my radar for the next few years. That could be really fun. But again, that's adding a little bit more nutrient density to your nutrition plan. There are ways that you can incorporate really good baked goods and then having extra fiber in them or extra nutrients so that you regulate that blood sugar and it's not just a punch. But again, if it's not, then enjoy yourself. Make sure you have that complexity. And then also making sure that you are moving afterwards. Oh, yeah, incorporating some nutrient density in there. So there are a lot of great side dishes with a lot of different color. I would highly recommend, and this could even be fun for kids too, is making a plate like really colorful, finding some things that are going to make plates really colorful. I know this is usually for Thanksgiving, but there's butternut squash. It is a dish of roasted butternut squash, Brussels sprouts, pecans, and I think cranberries too. Ooh, that's what I'm thinking of, like a mixed berry compote that you can have for like a dessert. So getting those fruits in there as well, making it really colorful, I think that would be really fun for everybody, and that will really give you some antioxidants in there. Um, as I said, I'm making the carrot slaw, which again, the carrots and anything that is orange is going to be very beneficial for your hormonal health and for your mood in particular. Highly recommend go onto Pinterest, look up those recipes. There's so many different things that you can do with vegetables during this time. And eggs is also part of Easter as well. So with those Easter eggs, all those hard-boiled eggs, okay, maybe some of you have gone to like just putting candy in there. Um, you can make, there's egg salad that you can make with avocado. That could be for the week as well, or you can make the deviled eggs with the avocado. All right. So with that in mind, I didn't want to take too much of your time, but this is a way that you can navigate the Easter table and still enjoy yourself. I do always recommend that you do have balance. I'm looking forward to having cake, and I am a nutritionist. Yes, is it going to be a little bit of an alternative cake because I am gluten free and mostly dairy free? I might even try the butter because I'm trying to explore to see what my body likes and what my body doesn't like. But it is so important for this time to have that balance, and that you, if you're going overboard, I shouldn't say if you're going overboard, but really kind of keying into your body and keying into how you feel, and you can still maintain your energy, maintain your hormonal health, maintain your stress levels, and set yourself up for the rest of the week so that when you're going into it, you're not feeling sluggish. You've enjoyed yourself too. You can hit all your different bases. How does that sound? Oh, and then the one other tip that I said is that if you are going to have some of that candy, just make sure you're having some protein around it just to bring down the glycemic index so it's not just that sugar rush up and then the sugar crash down. That's really important for any sort of inflammatory issues. For those of you that do have some of those inflammatory issues, there are so many amazing things that you can do. I have found so many alternative recipes for um I've made a strawberry shortcake before that has been gluten-free and grain-free. Has been so good with the cassava flour in there, and then you have the eggs in there. I've done a strawberry shortcake the other way with some gluten-free grains and the gluten-free flour, and used the coconut cream and then put the strawberries on there. I mean, there are so many ways that you can still enjoy yourself. And then guess what? when you're bringing this to another person's place, you can be the role model. And this can also, these are catered to everybody else. Even if they don't have an issue, then this is catered to everybody. So you have something that you can enjoy. I've done that. Bring something that you can enjoy if you know that there might be something that you're craving, but it could be off plan. That will help you emotionally, which will really help with your energy levels and also balancing hormones as well. All right. So I think I covered everything today. Again, I just want to say who I am. My name is Drew Mulvey. I am the Vitality Specialist. I work with athletes, entrepreneurs, and really anybody who's trying to take control of their health and athletic performance so they have better energy, much better recovery, and they really are able to enhance their quality of life and their well being. I use components from my background of functional nutrition, integrative health, life coaching, exercise, so that you really get an understanding of what's going on in your body. You're in control of how to support that, and that it creates lasting changes. That is my ideal here, is that we create foundations. Now, if that sounds like you, again, I would absolutely really love to speak with you. For those of you on Instagram, there is a link in the bio. Please click that. We'll get you in for a free 1 hour strategy session and talk about your goals. And I'll there give you some very specific tips on really how to optimize your performance, optimize your health, optimize your mood, hormones, whatever it is, so that you feel like you are going to be equipped for longevity and reaching your goals. That is my goal. All right. So with that in mind, oh yes, for those of you that are on Facebook, the link is going to be in the comments below. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. For those who are celebrating Easter, have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. And I hope that these tips really came in handy and come in handy for you this weekend. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.